we from London. Girl looking cute on her contour, but she came through on the dance floor. Got me feeling so now she wonder.
Free, started freaky like a ghost. She from London, says she from across the coast. The ass on live, you cannot put it on post. Coca-Cola.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Janiece. I just finished filming a wig in store and I'm about to do my makeup, and I thought why not take the opportunity to finally do an updated makeup routine. Lots of you guys have been asking me for this. I've been very hesitant, but you know, I just feel like I'm going to give it to you guys. Please keep in mind, I am not a makeup artist, I'm not a professional. This is just how I do makeup on myself. Makeup is definitely not a one size fits all agenda. So if you don't like my makeup, you know, that's fine. I personally like how it looks on me, and yeah, I just decided to film my updated makeup routine. Probably it will help a few of you guys out. Of course, I'm going to be starting with primer. That is the base of your makeup. You should always use a good primer, and today I'm just using the Studio Perfect's primer from NYX. It's a bit dirty, but don't pay attention to the outside of these products, guys. Most of them are dirty because they were all in my makeup bag. I just put like drops all around my face, and I'm just going to you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. The first step I'm going to be doing is my brows. I always like to do my brows first. It's just, I don't know, once my brows are done, I feel like 50% of my makeup is done. I'm thinking usually I would shape my brows a bit, like if they are really bushy like right now. I have this right here. I'm just going to quickly, I'm not like shaping it, but I'm going to get rid of the hairs that grow around my brows, just so, because like those are really annoying. If you don't have a problem with this, like totally ignore this step, but I just use one of these eyebrow razors. And if you do this, please make sure you are very gentle, because y'all won't believe the number of times I've cut myself whilst doing this. My eyebrows, I use two things. I use a brow gel and a brow pencil. This is the current brow gel I'm using. It's also from NYX, and it's their Control Freak brow gel. Now the brow pencil I was using was the Fenty Beauty brow pencil, which I love, but it's done or the pencil fell out. I don't even know, like one day I just noticed. So I recently got another one, and it's from NYX. It's their micro brow pencil. I think in the shade, what's the shade? Espresso. This is what it looks like, and it has a spoolie on one side and the pencil on the other side. So I'm just going to use this spoolie to brush my brows up. So I'm going in with that gel I showed you earlier, and this just, you know, helps to lay the hairs in place. So I'm just going to brush my brows, and you can just do this in the shape you kind of want your natural brows to be in. I have like really fluffy brows, so I'm just going to brush them up and over. As soon as I realize I kind of have the shape going on, I'm going to go in with the pencil. I really hope this goes well, because it's my first time using this pencil, and you know, I don't want my makeup to look terrible the one day I decide to film a video. So I feel like I can't talk whilst doing this, so let me kind of explain before I start. I'm just going to kind of outline my brows at the bottom. So I'm going to outline the bottom line, and I'm going to start from the middle point of my brow to the end before I come back and do the beginning. Please remember to do like really light strokes when you're doing this. So I've kind of done that end, if you guys can see, and now I'm going to bring it to the front and do especially the front very light. But don't, if you make a mistake because you use concealer, you brush it, all of that. Now I'm going to do the same for the top part, and I try to stick to the line of my brows. If you don't have thick brows like me, of course you can go over it and just make it the size you want, but my brows are already quite big, so I'm definitely not going to make them bigger than they are. Now that I've kind of done the outline, I'm going to actually do the hair strokes. So I'm just following the way my actual brow hairs are, and I'm doing a light strokes. Okay. I feel like every day I do my brows, it's like an adventure, because it's like, maybe it's going to look good, maybe not. We are just going to have to see. Okay, y'all, that's what it's looking like. Let me just do this side as well. Always remember, like, you can brush it in case you feel like you went overboard or it's too deep. Just take your spoolie and, you know, brush it out. It will just blend the pencil into your brows. So the next thing I'm going in with is my concealer, and this is just the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter concealer, and it's in the shade 330. I'm taking my angled brush, put a little bit of concealer on there, not too much, and we're going to use this to correct all our mistakes. So I'm going to start right from the bottom and just define the brow. And I have done the same thing on both brows. It is time to blend the concealer. I'm just going to take my buffer brush, and this is the Morphe 173. It's my first time using this. I just got it recently because I misplaced my previous buffer brush, so hopefully this works great. And basically the trick here is try to avoid the brows as much as possible. Just get that concealer and blend it out. I'm going to go back in with my spoolie and I'm going to brush my brows. This is to, you know, make it look more natural. It's time to move on to the next phase, which is the base of my makeup, foundation. When it comes to foundation, I guess everyone has their own preference. You know, do you want a lightweight foundation or a heavy duty foundation, glowy, matte? It really comes down to you and your preference. Personally, these are the two foundation brands I use. I use the NARS Natural Radiance Longwear Foundation, and this is in the shade Caracas. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. And I mixed that with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation, which is in the shade 330. I mixed these two because I just feel like this is too dark for my skin and this is too light. So when I mix it, it kind of makes the perfect shade for me and the perfect texture, because this is long wear and this is more of a glowy look. So I just feel like one on its own is not it for me, but together, you know, they kind of do the job. I'm just going to be using the base of something to do the mixing, and I'm taking a few pumps. I feel like I'm going to add a bit more of the Fenty Beauty because it's a bit too dark. Now that I have this, I'm using this same, you know, back of my brush, and I'm just putting this on my face like this. I know it's very ghetto, but like it works for me, so you don't have to do the same. I'm just going to go in with my foundation brush. You don't need to use a brush, you can use a beauty blender if you want. I just feel like a brush makes it look a bit more natural because it doesn't take so much foundation, but with a beauty blender it's like you are packing the foundation on your face. So it kind of depends on, you know, what you are trying to go for. With my brush, I'm just going to blend this in, and take your time and blend, okay? Don't rush, take your time, you know, make it look good, because this is the base of your makeup. If this doesn't look good, it's most likely your entire makeup isn't going to look good. Once you get to the area of your brows, please be careful so you don't mess up your brows. You can just, you know, go in with a smaller brush and blend that area just to be on the safer side. Okay, and I'm done blending in my foundation. I think it looked pretty good, and I'm quite happy about how this base has turned out. It's time to move on to the next step, which is concealer. I'm going back in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter concealer. I'm going to be putting this in some specific areas. So first of all, right here. I hope you guys are visual learners, so you can just learn from seeing me do it. Apparently TikTok says you shouldn't put it in the middle area, so it's just going to be obeying TikTok today. And I put a little bit on my forehead. I don't like putting too much there, just a little bit. And I have a bit of a mustache, so I'm going to be putting some there as well. I like to use a beauty blender. It's advisable to use a wet beauty blender, but instead of going to my sink, I'm just going to take a wet wipe and squeeze that. It's going to make the beauty blender moist, and literally that is all you need to do. So I'm taking that and I'm going to use this to blend in my concealer. Now the trick when it comes to this is try to stay in the same place as possible. Like when you're blending, like try not to let it like go over a wide area. Try to keep in that area as much as possible. And I'm done blending in the concealer. I feel like it's going well so far. The next step I'm going to do, which I think you should do right after your concealer, well at least that's what I do, I go in with a setting powder. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter setting powder in the shade Honey, and I'm getting a dry beauty blender. Now with that, I'm going to, you know, just dab it into the setting powder, not too much. Whatever you take there, you can just, you know, dab all that excess off. I'm not going to be baking, so I'm going to be pressing this into, you know, everywhere I put the concealer. Because I have oily skin, and you know, as the day goes on, my face gets oily and my makeup looks shiny, and I don't want that. I'm going to be taking this big powder brush and, you know, just taking the rest of that satin powder from the back of my palm and just blending this into basically everywhere, just to give it kind of a matte finish. The next step is going to be contour. I use the cream contour stick from Fenty Beauty and it's in the shade Truffle. You want to contour where your cheekbone is. So personally, my cheekbone is here. You can feel it with your hands, you know, where that bone is, and put that just a little bit above the exact area, because when you're contouring, no matter what you do, it's going to go down. So if you put it exactly on your cheekbone area, it's going to go down onto your cheek, and you know, it's going to make your face look really broad, but you want your face to look like this, not like this. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to put this around my forehead as well. I have a really big forehead, so this is to, you know, bring it down a bit. I also like to contour my nose a little bit, so I'm going to take a little bit, like I'm just going to dab this a little bit, like along the line of my nose, like from the beginning of my brow downwards. Yeah. For blending this in, I'm going to be using this brush right here. I just feel like it works well when I'm blending in my contour, and I'm just going to blend. When it comes to blending in around my nose, I need a smaller brush, so I'm going in with my buffer brush. This is why I had to get this, because I literally need it for so much. Okay, face is looking chiseled, face is looking, you know, heavy on the contour. When I'm not trying to go extra, when I'm just trying to do an everyday, you know, type of look, I don't do too much on my eyes. I always like to just stick with the neutral colors, you know, so it kind of matches my skin tone, but there's still something going on there. I recently got the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill palette, and this is the Divine Neutrals. All the shades in here are really pretty neutral colors, which is why I got it. I'm going to use the Good Vibes shade, this one right here. Don't forget to dust off the excess. I'm just applying this all over my lid. This is just going to be the base of my eyeshadow. Just to be extra, I'm going to go in with this shade, which is the Just Barely shade, and it's kind of like the color of my concealer, and I'm just putting this onto my crease. That is basically my eyeshadow. It's really not extra. It's something everyone can do, and it's just to add, you know, a bit of color to my eyes so they don't look too plain. Now that I've done my eyeshadow, I'm going to do my mascara. I'm not wearing lashes because this is supposed to be, you know, an everyday type thing. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Colossal mascara. I hope I pronounced it right. And I'm just putting a little bit on my lower lash line. I don't want it to look crazy, so I'm just like going to do this once, just a little bit. Okay. The next step, which is almost the final step, I promise, is going to be blush. When it comes to blush, I use two different types. The first one I use is the Fenty Beauty cream blush, and it is in the shade Rosé Latte. And the second one I use is the Manhattan Maxi blush. The shade is 200 Tempted. I'm going to be taking this brush, and you know, the Fenty Beauty one is really dirty, but ignore it. I'm using a bigger brush, and you know, just going to dab that in there. And for this one, I'm, you know, coming a bit lower to my actual cheeks. Now for the next step, which is almost the final step, is going to be lips. So with lips, I'm going to be trying a new combo today. I bought the Morphe X Ashley Strong lip combo. It comes with a lip pencil and a gloss. But yeah, I'm just going to clean my lips because there's a bit of foundation on it, so I'm using a wet wipe to just clean it. It's definitely pretty, a bit darker than I was expecting. I'm just going to go in with my NYX Butter Gloss, and it's kind of in like a pinkish shade. Definitely feel like that is better. Okay, I'm not officially done. There's one more step, but I promise this is going to be the last step, and it is setting spray. Of course, you have to freaking set your makeup or it's going to melt off your face. Anyway, so I'm going to be using the Morphe setting mist, and this is just their mini bottle. I hope you guys love this look just as much as I do, and I really hope it was helpful to anyone, you know, looking for some makeup tips and tricks. That is the end of this video. That is the end of this look. It's cute, it's pretty, definitely something I love. You don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And as always guys, I'll be back with more videos. Peace.